Robert Spencer here for Jihad Watch, a program of the David Horowitz Freedom Center, and for the Center for Security Policy. Today, I've got a man bites dog story for you. WKBW reported recently that a Muslim in Lackawanna, New York, named Arafat Nagi, pleaded guilty in federal court to a charge of attempting to provide material support and resources to a foreign terrorist organization. In his plea, Nagi admitted he had tried to support ISIL, that is, the Islamic State, by personally traveling to Turkey in an effort to enter Syria and fight on behalf of ISIS. And the big news was that a Muslim ratted him out. Officials handling his case stated on August 28, 2014, a community member told the FBI that Nagi talked about violent jihad to many people in the Lackawanna community, and it was common for Nagi to get into verbal complaints over his jihad beliefs. In a similar vein, the Buffalo News informs us that the case against Arafat M. Nagi began more than 3 years ago, fueled by a tip from a community member upset about Nagi's vocal support for violent jihad. So, is the Muslim community in Lackawanna, New York moderate, patriotic, and determined to cooperate with law enforcement officials to root all the jihadis and jihad sympathizers out of its ranks? Unfortunately, that cannot be concluded from the case of Arafat Nagi. This was a man who made his determination to commit jihad violence so obvious that Muslim community members had no choice but to act. WKBW says, the FBI's further investigation uncovered Nagi pledged allegiance to ISIS and group leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Investigators say he traveled to Turkey twice, in October 2012 and July 2014, with the intent to meet ISIS members. Before traveling to Turkey, he bought a large number of military combat items, including a tactical vest, army combat shirt, body armor, Shahada flag, combat boots, backpack, burn kit, hunting knife, machete, and night vision goggles. Once in Turkey, he bought a SIM card, activated a Turkish cell phone number, and Facebook messaged other people who were prepared to help Nagi enter Syria to join ISIS. It gets worse. WKBW adds, the FBI raided his Lackawanna home back in 2015. The investigation into Nagi's alleged involvement with ISIL was long and methodical and lasted several months. It began when the FBI says a grand jury subpoena connected a Yahoo email account to the Lackawanna address. Nagi returned to the U.S. in September after being overseas for 2 months, and the FBI says his phone number was the same as the phone number used for the Yahoo account. Worse still, aside from all his jihad plotting and activity, Nagi was, in accord with the Quran's command to beat disobedient women, violent toward his daughter. WKBW reports Lackawanna police arrested Nagi in July 2013 on charges he threatened to kill his daughter. Police say a witness was with Nagi's daughter when he pulled up next to them and displayed a large knife. Nagi's daughter ran inside her home and called 911. The witness told police Nagi stated he was going to shoot and behead his daughter. Nagi was charged, but it's unclear what became of those charges. Well, what indeed did become of them? We hear a great deal about how the Muslim community in the U.S. rejects and abhors jihad violence, and yet the Hamas-linked Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR, the most influential Muslim group in the U.S., routinely distributes flyers telling Muslims not to cooperate with law enforcement. Only rarely do we hear about Muslims informing law enforcement about jihadis such as Arafat Nagi, and Nagi was making his jihad sentiments so blazingly obvious that he forced their hand. If they hadn't informed on him, it would have cast suspicion on a larger segment of the community, since he was apparently telling anyone who would listen to him about how he was going to wage jihad against the infidels. Oh, and why wasn't he under constant or at least regular surveillance after threatening to kill his daughter? How was he able to amass all that jihad equipment without arousing any suspicion? Isn't any of that a matter of concern to law enforcement? If law enforcement officials had been allowed to study Islam as the motivating ideology of jihad terrorism, they might have surmised that his willingness to behead his own daughter was a manifestation of an adherence to Islam that could also suggest involvement in jihad activity. In that case, they might have caught him much sooner, even without the community's whistleblowing. But of course, to draw such conclusions would have been Islamophobic. And so it goes in our republic of willful ignorance. I'm Robert Spencer.